Hey guys, my name is Britt Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over all the 2019 releases that I read and loved. So pretty much this video is what the description is. It is all the books that were released in 2019 that I have read up to this point. I'm filming this in December and that I loved. I will have one at the end that I am currently reading, but I am loving it so far, so that's a little bit toss up. So the rest are going to be like the 9 other books. Starting off, The Wicked King came out first part, I think in January, and this is the second book to Holly Black's The Cruel Prince series. And if you guys don't know about The Cruel Prince, it just pretty much follows a human in the Fae world. She gets taken from her human world into her Fae world. She has a half sister who is half Fae and half human, and she has a twin sister, and it's just a lot of fun times, and you get to see how cruel actually the Faes really are to the humans, and she has to grow up with them and go to school, and it's a really fun time and great adventure. And The Wicked King just pretty much carries on from where The Cruel Prince left off. So I did give both of these books 5 stars. So guys, number 2 is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmermar. This book was absolutely amazing. It is a loose retelling of Beauty and the Beast, where a girl from kind of like nowadays gets sent into this alternate universe where there's castles and beasts, and she meets up with a band of characters that are like just really fun, but she's very headstrong, and I really like that about her. Has a lot of good representation on physical disorders and just things like that. And even the main 2 male characters are very likable and very enjoyable, and she is very enjoyable. And yeah, I just 100% recommend everybody picking up A Curse So Dark and Lonely if you had not, because again, it's a top book. Probably going to be a top book for mine this year. Number 3, we have Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. There was a lot of mixed reviews on this book, and I can't believe how mixed. A lot of people either loved it or didn't. There wasn't a lot of people that I saw that were in the middle with this review, but I absolutely loved it. I loved the world building, the main characters, the headstrong, the innocence of the main character almost, and it was a lot of fun time, and I can't wait for the second book to come out. I'm not sure when that comes out yet, but I just want to tell you guys a little bit of synopsis, so I've just read the synopsis that's inside the book. Some stories are so beautiful, so brutal, that they claw at your heart and refuse to let go. Welcome to the world of Wicked Saints, and that's honestly this book. It is so beautiful and brutal in the same sense, but a girl named Nahi who hears the whispers of gods inside her head, a prince surrounded by desperate suitors and deadly assassins, a monster hidden behind pale, tortured eyes and a smile that curls like a knife. And you honestly, like, you don't know who to root for. You're going to root for the monster, you're going to root for the prince. It's just a whirlwind of just amazing content and very well written by Emily A. Duncan. I think this is the debut novel of hers. If I'm wrong, I do apologize to Emily A. Duncan. But I can't wait for the second book to come out. Like, I need it soon, because since I read this book, I felt a little bit of a void that I need the second book to carry on from where we left off in the end of this one. Number 4 is Lady Smoke by Laura Sebastian. This is the second book in her Ash Princess trilogy. I absolutely love Ash Princess. Ash Princess is about a princess who loses her kingdom. Her parents die. She's actually raised up like a slave or a captive by the people who captured her kingdom, and it's just realizing that she has self-worth, and she meets a band of characters that actually got to escape the kingdom when it was being taken over by the people who are raising her now. So it's just, I love the fact that she's been beaten down all her life, and it takes time to build up from that, because you can't just overnight decide, oh yeah, I'm going to take my kingdom back. So I really like that aspect of like very long-term character building, because that is kind of pretty much what happens in life. It doesn't happen overnight like in some books. Oh, I found out I have powers, and the next day I'm amazing at them. Those books are fun to read, don't get me wrong, because I mean, I love that kind of trope, but I also like finding a book that is more realistic in building back up her mental clarity and just her assertiveness into life pretty much. And so the second book just takes off right where the first one left off, and yeah, it was a lot of fun ride, and I highly recommend picking up this book series. I know Ember Queen is coming out in the beginning of 2020, so I can't wait to get my hands on that. Number 5 is Dark Shores by Danielle L. Jensen, and I have to say, I have to thank my friend Macy here on BookTube. She's the Brightside Girl, for introducing me into like sea-worthy books that take part in the sea, like mermaids, pirate ships, because I honestly didn't read a lot of that. And then when she had her Mermaid Marathon back in the summertime, I got hooked on sea-worthy books, and this is one of the books that I read during that time, and it's about, again, a great band of characters that run this ship, and they have to trade, and there's a lot of magic in this world for such a small book, because this is actually a pretty small, quick read. There was so much world building, so much character development that I am extremely excited. I've actually read this book again since I read it the first time because I loved it so much. But I think everybody should pick up Dark Shores because it's a fun ride. But it's like, we know the Dark Shores exist, he said. It is only a matter of time until we find our way there. And I can tell you with certainty that Cassius will not hesitate to destroy your entire people in the pursuit of his goal. You can save them by agreeing to help us now. And damn, the other half of the world is doing so, she thought. So, I mean, it's a lot of fun, guys. She has to take this, like, group of, like, military people from her world across into this other half of the world that you can only go through one way, and only certain people in the trade group know how to get there, like the band of pirates. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. It's so much in this little bitty book that I can't wait for a second book to carry on from where this first book left off. Number 6, we have Stormfury by Jennifer L. Armentrout. If you guys don't know, I'm trying to read all Jennifer L. Armentrout's books. If I can remember, I will post a video explaining what I'm doing up in the cards for you guys if you haven't seen that so far. But this book is amazing. It kind of takes place after Jennifer L. Armentrout's White Hot Kiss trilogy. If you have not read that trilogy, you need to go read it. Let me grab the book so you guys can see. Stormfury kind of takes part after these 3 books. There is a little bit of a timeline gap, but it does really take part in after these. I highly recommend going over and reading the White Hot Kiss trilogy because it's absolutely amazing. I'm going to be saying that this entire video pretty much. But Stormfury takes place a girl who is going blind, like she can see, but like sunlight, she has to have sunglasses on. She can see shadows of people, so if there's sun behind somebody, she can see the outline of somebody. But yeah, she's going blind in this book. She does have a lot of powers that you're not extremely sure about how she got them or what she is, because if you guys don't know, that the first trilogy is about gargoyles and demons, and gargoyles are the protectors of the humans, and they kill the demons off. So you're not really sure why this girl has some of the powers that she does, but you soon find out. But it does follow some of the characters from the White Hot Kiss trilogy into this one, so I highly recommend reading White Hot Kiss trilogy before you read this one. Because even though you can read this one without reading that one, it is so much more fun because you know all the characters and you know some of their backstories before you get into this one. It doesn't have all of them, guys, because it does follow a whole new set of main characters, but you do get glimpses of some of the old characters in this book, and that was really fun and interesting to see how they intertwine from after those. So yeah, I love Stormfury. This is book I did annotate, and I do have a whole video about how I annotate my book, and I will link that down in the description and up in the cards for you guys if I can remember. But yeah, I love Jennifer L. Armentrout so much that 2 of her books are on this list. Number 7 is going to be Valley of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, the second book in Dance of Thieves, which is behind here, and I'm just not going to grab it. So Valley of Thieves just takes part where Dance of Thieves left off, but there's a little bit of a time gap, and some things have gone on in that time gap between Dance of Thieves and Valley of Thieves, that the whole book they're explaining what has happened. But this again has a great band of characters. It has like women assassins, like come on, or like military women assassins. I mean, badass women military assassins, like come on. I know I'm repeating myself, but Come on, guys, they are absolutely amazing. Mary Pearson knows how to draw you into a world that keeps building and building and building on itself, and character development that keeps building and building on itself. For a YA author to write a very in-depth fantasy YA book, I just felt like I was reading a very descriptive fantasy adult book in a YA format, if that makes sense, guys. But again, this is another book that I kind of did a couple little notes in the chapters. I didn't want to tab this book up too much, but another book that I ended up loving and will be keeping on my shelves for many years to come. Number 8, we have The Kingdom of Copper by S.H.R. Bolte. I think that's how you say that. This is second book in the City of Brass. I think the City of Brass. I could be completely wrong, but this takes place again right where the first book left off into this one. I like second books when they carry on. There's not a big time gap. Again, I did do a little bit of annotating in this book also. If you guys haven't realized, I do annotate my favorite book, but this is amazing. It's by like Cairo and Sand, and I've come to realize in 2019 that I really like Cairo and Egypt type books because I did read a lot of them this year and I immensely enjoyed. I mean, I think 99.9% of the ones that I did read that take place like that. But yeah, I loved The Kingdom of Copper. This book is very intense, but the world is amazing. And yeah, I highly recommend picking up The Kingdom of Copper. Pick up the first one first if you haven't read that. Number 9 is The Burnished by Jennifer L. Armentrout, the second book in her Darkest Star trilogy or series. I'm not sure just yet. But The Darkest Star takes place after the Obsidian, the Atrium series that she wrote, and I will grab that first book so you guys know what I'm talking about. So this trilogy takes place after this one, I think. Everybody has found out about aliens because in this book nobody knows there's aliens. Sorry, that is a spoiler, but you know, this takes place of aliens from a different planet and how the humans are dealing with that. And then this book is the humans finding out about those aliens and how they're dealing with finding out about the aliens and putting them into schools and just things like that. So a girl has no memory of who she is, and yeah, you just follow her dealing with the prejudice against the aliens, and is she really human? Is her mom really human? So there's a lot of things in her memory that she doesn't remember because they had a big war type thing went on, and she remembers bits and pieces of it. But the first book, she kind of finds out what happened and why she doesn't have the memories like she did. And the second book just follows on with her finding out her memories before that wartime happened. I hope that makes any sense. But yeah, another Jennifer L. Armentrout book that was absolutely amazing. The character development, the romance is always great because Jennifer L. Armentrout knows how to write a romance better than anyone I've ever read in my entire life. But yeah, it just was a fun ride, and I can't wait for the third book to come out soon. So the last book that I'm currently reading and I'm currently loving, I hope that doesn't change, is The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. This is third book in that Cruel Prince and the Wicked Saint trilogy. And yeah, as of right now, I am currently loving this book. I think I'm about halfway through, but I don't think that's going to change. Again, I'm not going to go into the synopsis of this book. It just takes place after what happened in the Wicked King book. So I highly recommend picking up The Queen of Nothing. So I'm not going to go into much more detail about this. So guys, that's all the books that were released in 2019 that I have read and have loved. I loved every single one of these books so much that I want to reread them multiple times. And I actually have thought about doing some more rereading in January of 2020 so I can prepare myself for all the good books coming out in 2020. Kind of restart and read some stuff that I know I'm going to love after reading all the Christmas themed books in December. But anyways guys, if you like these types of videos, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm posting a video every single day from the 1st to the 25th of December, and I look forward to seeing everybody soon in my next video. Bye!